everyone, I'm Mateo T. De Mesa and I'm here to discuss the definition of learning outcomes, content standard, performance standard, learning competency, and learning objectives. So as a pre-service teachers, it is important for us to know the definition of these elements that are necessary in making a lesson plan. And just like other lesson formats, the literature lesson plan contains these elements. So without further ado, let's define them. So the learning outcomes, this portion is preceded by the statement of content standard, performance standard, learning competency, which are all specified in a curriculum guide for the subject in each grade level. So what is exactly learning? What is learning outcomes? So learning outcomes first are statements that describe the knowledge or skills students should acquire or should learn by the end of a particular assignment, class, course, program, or activity. Okay. Another, these are user-friendly statements that tell students what they will be able to do at the end of a particular lesson in a period of time. Next, these are assessment tool. Bakit ko nasabi assessment tool? Because learning outcomes helps students connect learning in various contexts. Last, learning outcomes are student-centered rather than instructor-centered. So again, because yung learning outcomes focused on the knowledge and skills that students should acquire at the end of a particular lesson. So to simply put, learning outcomes are any measurable skills, abilities, knowledge, or values that the student demonstrate as a result of completing a given course or class. Okay, let's now proceed to content standard. Content standard, these are broad statements that specify content areas that learners should learn at each grade level. So, content standard define knowledge within each discipline. Like for example, content standard in 6th grade, students could be earth science. Okay. Ayan. So, content standard describes the specific content that should be taught and learned. Content standard articulates core knowledge and skills that students should master. Content standard guides teacher in identifying instructions on the knowledge and skills that students should learn. Okay. Content standard answer the question, what should students know? Ano yung kailangan malaman ng estudyante? Anong kailangan matutunan? And what should students do? Okay. Let's proceed now to performance standard. So performance standard, on the other hand, are the anticipated measures or evidences that learners have met the content standard. It isolates and identify skills needed for problem solving, reasoning, communicating, and making connections with other information. Ayan po. So, performance standard provides clear expectations for instruction, assessment, and student work. So, performance standard defines level of work that demonstrate achievement of standard, enabling a teacher to know how good is good enough. Performance standard provides clear expectations for instruction, assessment, and student at work. Performance standard helps teachers assess the extent to which the students have acquired the knowledge and applied the skills learned. So, performance standard answer the question, how well must students do their work? So, ayan po. So, this presents product or performance as evidence of learning or attainment of content standard. Ayan po. Next, the learning competency. What is learning competency? This is the indicator of achievement of every learner after instruction. So, ayan po, according to DepEd, sabi ng DepEd, learning competency are the knowledge, understanding, skills, and attitudes that students need to demonstrate in every lesson and or in every learning activity. activity. Ayan. Learning competencies are the main ideas you expect students to master. Next, the learning objectives. What is learning objectives? These are statements communicated by the teacher to the learners on what they should be able to master and demonstrate at the end of the learning experiences. So kung sa learning competency at the end of every activity or every lesson, sa learning objectives naman at the end of every learning experience. So learning objectives are specific abilities necessary to accomplish the learning competency. Okay? This expressed in action words. The objectives include the three domains, namely the cognitive domain, affective domain, and the psychomotor domain. We all know about the cognitive domain. These are skills that are mentally processed. The affective domain naman involves the feelings, emotions, and attitudes attached by the learners to the selection. Samantalang yung psychomotor naman, these are pertaining to the perform act or task. Okay, yan po. Yan lang po. Thank you so much.